Welcome to Moving with Meaning. I'm your host, Krystal. Well, we have completed the Inner Sunshine series, which was just packed full of mindful and reflective goodness, all of which we possess inside us. Now, I think it's deserving that we continue building on that investment. What do you say? As we know, we are revving up for returning to school. Look, I even have my alma mater shirt on. Go Southern University, HBCU strong. I think I'm going to put a new shirt on every episode in this series just for fun. You guys, shout out your HBCUs or colleges that you attended, and hopefully we can get some good friendly banter going. But not to get too distracted, this month is all about mindful re-entry. Yeah, that tricky but transformative space between the rest we needed and the routines we're going to return to. Doesn't matter if you just come back from vacation or are mentally hitting reset. Each episode will guide you through reconnecting to your personal power, deepening emotional resilience, and creating a second half of the year that's intentional, not just inevitable. This is the Back to You series. Let's be real. Coming back to structure after rest can feel jarring. We rush to catch up, pile on the pressure, and before we know it, the peace we gain starts to slip through our fingers. But here's the truth. Structure doesn't have to erase what rest restored. This episode is all about building momentum without rushing, blending discipline with grace, and designing routines that reflect your values, not just your deadlines. Today's episode is called Reclaiming the Routine. So in this episode, we'll explore how to build momentum without rushing by honoring the lessons rest has taught you. Explore strategies to blend discipline and grace into your daily structure, and understand how aligning your morning and meeting routines with your values creates a more energized and purpose-driven workday. All right. Now, as a recap, you've pressed pause, recharged your energy, maybe even rediscovered a few pieces of yourself along the way. But now, it's go time. Well, is it? So before you race back into the hustle, let's talk about how to build forward without leaving behind everything rest revealed to you. All right, here we go. Easing back into structure doesn't mean abandoning the rest that restored you. It means building forward with intention. Too often, we return from break and immediately dive headfirst into pressure, forgetting the clarity, balance, and peace we just worked so hard to reclaim. But rest teaches. It reveals what fuels you and what drains you. It uncovers the pace your body thrives in and the patterns your mind truly needs. The goal isn't to return to the same grind, it's to evolve it. By blending structure with softness, discipline with self-respect, and routines with meaning, we design a rhythm that supports our sustainability, creativity, and leadership presence. Because when your structure reflects who you are, not just what you do, you don't just perform better, you live better. Listen, think about it. Your rest wasn't a detour. It was data. And you know I like data. It showed you what matters, what drains you, and what deserves protecting. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to explore the 3 big benefits of easing back into structure with intention. And trust me, your schedule, your mindset, and your team will thank you. Yes, we have hit now the benefit section of this episode, and I wanted to say let's get on right into it because I'm always excited for these episodes and to kind of add my little experience and my thoughts to it, and hopefully that'll motivate and inspire you to do the same. All right, benefit number 1, sustains the peace you gained. Instead of snapping back into hustle mode, you carry forward the emotional clarity and presence rest gave you. Yes, it's interesting because it's so obvious that we miss it constantly, like it has to be more complicated than that. And it's not really. Some people, when they come back, especially me, when I come back from vacation, I try to take if I can, okay, is take a day off. So I'm back home from vacation. I've traveled, and usually I almost sleep. Like it's that next day, I'm just really just trying to relax. And if I go right into work when I come back from vacation, I haven't really gotten myself together to kind of reset and get right back into it. So planning your time off and when you get back just to recover from the vacation, because I'm telling you right now, it is difficult. Even if I take one day off just from a mental health time period, it's difficult for me to kind of just snap back into it, right? And the thing is, you don't feel like you have to, okay? Because the point is that you left to gain additional clarity. So when you come back, make sure you bring that insight that you gained during that time period, and you're going to be more efficient and less pressured and less stressed. All right, think about it. All right, number 2, builds more intentional momentum. Slow, steady rhythms build energy that actually lasts and reduce your chances of crashing and burning. Yes. You know what? The thing is momentum goes both ways, forward and backward, okay? So you could move forward just as fast as you can slip backward. So think about that, right? Is like that's a great word, is momentum, but it can be used positively and negatively. And we want to make sure that for us to build that momentum, it's just slow and steady, right? You don't have to jump back into whatever hustle mode you were in before you left. Because for me, when I leave for vacation, I'm usually in one or two ways. I'm usually truly hustle mode, right? Because I'm trying to prepare my team for me to be gone and to get caught up on, get everyone in a position where they're going to be successful so they don't need me. Like they can be on autopilot and move on. We can continue to progress, right? Because I'm not trying to hear from nobody while I'm on vacation. My phone is do not disturb, okay? But also think about it, it's energy, okay? You want it to last. It's literally like running a race or training for a marathon. You have to train those lungs to take in all of that energy that you're going to spend just to stay in the race, okay? And so that's what you want to do. Is like we're not trying to get to beat the first to the finish line. We just want to get there. That's all it is, okay? And at the end of the day, when you are slowly moving forward and you identify that this is what I'm doing, I'm moving forward, even if it's at a slower pace, that's okay. You start to be less stressed about where you are and stop thinking about, oh, I should be further. Okay, because there's some days that are just more productive than others and you perform better. It happens, okay? So it's gonna ebb and flow, and that's cool. Last benefit, boosts long-term productivity and well-being. When your routine reflects your values, it fuels you instead of drains you. And I think this is important because at the end of the day, we're talking about well-being. And that's not used in the work, in the professional realm for some reason, okay? When we talk about personal living and all the things that we can do in our daily lives just to kind of be well, it truly does apply to just how you are personally, how you are off work, right? And those two people, the person that you are at work and the person that you are at home or in your personal lives, they're like two different people, and they shouldn't be, right? You're the same person. And so you want to make sure that you bring the same values that you hold dear to you personally, you bring them to work and you basically enforce those there, okay? Don't allow those things to change you, because then at the end of the day, right, it's about long term. You're going to get to a point where you're like, who am I here at work? Because it's not matching up, and that can be very destabilizing for some folks. So we're going to go into some of those things today, because I know I'm just kind of hinting at it just now, but we'll get there, okay? So now that we've explored the 3 powerful benefits of easing back into structure with intention, okay? Key point there is intention, like preserving your energy, staying aligned with your values, and creating sustainable momentum. Let's bring it down to earth, okay? Let's bring it home, because theory is beautiful, okay? But real life is where transformation happens. Whether you're managing a team meeting, right, or managing bedtime with toddlers, how we re-enter the routine and the rhythm truly does matter. So let's look at some real world examples, both at work and at home, that show how this approach can reshape your day, your mindset, and your impact. Ooh, this is going to be a good one. I'm getting a little excited about this because it's so true, and I really like these examples. So anyway, let's go ahead. I have two today, so we'll go get through some of this to allow for a little bit more commentary. So first one, professional scenario. After a long sabbatical, a manager eases into weekly planning by scheduling one focus block per day instead of booking back-to-back meetings. They integrate walking one-on-ones or silent working hours to maintain space for clarity. And I think this is important for not only, it's when we talk about space, this is actually physical space too. Okay, so I love the integrate walking one-on-ones because it takes, even if you, and it's maybe you with your manager, or it's you with a direct report that you're working with, and instead of just like, let's walk around the building, okay, or let's walk to the cafeteria, whatever places you get, instead of just kind of going to another meeting room or office room, change the scenery. Like we always talk about that, because changing the environment in your scenery, it generates a different response. You get more creative, to be honest with you, for sure. And I do that when I'm writing, but it changes how people see things, because when you change what is being taken in with your eyes, right, and the noises around you, they really do generate different responses and different thought patterns and ways of thinking. And it can really motivate that conversation that you're having as well. Again, I like the silent working hours. Again, I'm telling you, this is physical space. And so silent working hours isn't just sitting at your desk. So if maybe you're at a cubicle with a row of people, there are a lot of companies today that create like little hotels or little, I forget what they call them, but they're small spaces where they're closed off, and you can go in there, close yourself off from whatever's going on, and then that be your time, and you can book them. I love that. There are other ways where you have to kind of physically go up and kind of go into maybe like the break room to work for a little bit, or even, I don't know, I've even did this in my car, right? But it was something to get away. Now, there are other things that I will do is put my headphones on, and sometimes I don't even have music playing, but I put them on because it deters people from coming up to my desk. Got a sec, I can't stand that, right? It's like I'm working, but I know that the need of me, like me, my time is important, and it does when you are seen as a subject matter expert, or you seen as a influential individual or someone who people respect, right? So there is a level of responsibility, both to you and to those around you, right? You don't want to seem, you work so hard to be this individual. So we give back to them, but also to ourselves. All right. So think about that. I can't tell you about these long sabbaticals. I've never had one, but I am thinking about taking one. I'm going to say that right now. But yeah, I know I've taken a week off from work on vacation, and it is difficult for me to come back. Right. And you just have to ease back in. Do not feel rushed. That's the truth. All right, second scenario, personal scenario. Instead of diving back into a 5 a.m. workout schedule, someone begins with light yoga and journaling to keep mornings reflective, then builds toward intensity gradually. Hey, we all know about that. Because when you haven't worked out for a while, worked out the muscles, and then you start doing some squats or something else, and your body is tense, like it hurts, okay? Those are things that we're talking about. Like, so seriously, just ease back into it. Don't work yourself to the point where you're just in pain, because that's not enjoyable, right? And you can see your progress, and you look at your progress as you go along with that, okay? I think that's the easiest one that can compare to this, all right? I think everybody's been there. So see, whether you're a manager who finally stopped scheduling back-to-back meetings, or a parent who reclaimed their morning peace before the world wakes up, those shifts make a real difference. Lord knows we know about that, the toddler mom in the mornings. Ooh, goodness. But let's be honest, just because it's possible doesn't mean it's always easy. Even with the best intentions, easing back into structure after rest comes with its own set of hurdles. Maybe it's pressure to perform, guilt for slowing down, or the old habits that try to sneak back in when no one's watching. Let's talk about some of the most common challenges people face when trying to protect the lessons rest has taught them, and how to navigate them with self-respect and strategy. I love those two S's, don't you? Self-respect and strategy. Yes. Let's put that to the test. All right. All right. First challenge we're going to talk about is pressure to perform at full speed immediately. After a period of rest or downtime, many feel an internal or external pressure to make up for lost time. This urgency often overrides the lessons of rest, leading people to abandon the slower, healthier pace that recharged them in the first place. I think that's important. Now, you guys heard me say at the beginning that when I come back, or I'm sorry, you heard me say earlier, I'm more productive on certain days than others, and that's true. So usually when I do a task list, I tend to make my task list like what I'm going to accomplish that week, a week long. Because I notice when I do them daily, I'll get upset and frustrated that I didn't get something done in that day. But that day, maybe I had something on my mind and I just couldn't shake it, and I couldn't focus, right? And then the next day I might have picked up what I did in those 2 days, in that last day as well, in the same day, and I'm like, oh wow, I need to do this again because I have to make up from the lost time that I had. That's not how it works. Right? So don't think that you have to make up for lost time or anything. Like, everything happens when and as it should. Okay? Just take care of yourself. Next frustration. Guilt around saying no or setting boundaries. Rest often clarifies what drains us, but applying these boundaries in real life can stir guilt. People struggle with disappointing others, which causes them to overcommit and fall back into old energy depleting routines. Oh, them habits. Yes. When we know what's happening, it's like, this is getting so difficult. I feel like I am not making these people happy. Look, people got to accept things, okay? And we do so much to people please and say, yes, we can do everything. Like, we know anything's possible. We know, but it's like, there's only one of me. There's constraints around being able to deliver this stuff, right? And so at the end of the day, when they say overcommit, I say this all the time, you are only responsible for what you say yes to. Okay, and you do not have to say yes all the time. People will learn, they will deal with it. And if they want to walk out your life or change who they want to go ask for something, bye-bye, go do that, please. Yes, because you need to know that other people are capable of meeting these needs, not just me. And I've had this happen to me personally before, where I was with a friend and I remember I was just giving up a whole lot of stuff. Like, I was saying yes. I was really a friend, the way I'm looking at it. And it came to a point where I couldn't be there in the way she wanted me to be at the time. And it was just because I had my own priorities and things to take care of. And she got upset with me. It was like, oh, all of a sudden, all those things that I was doing didn't matter anymore. It was just in this moment that I couldn't meet it and make her available or whatever else. Not to mention where I'm like, okay, I'm doing more than what I was getting from this. What is going on here? Now, here's the thing. I wasn't doing it thinking that she owed me anything. I was doing because I wanted to. And that's what I do with a lot of friends, okay? Is I just like to do things. That's my love language. I like to give gifts. I just like to do stuff like that. So this is me saying, okay, listen, I'm not available right now. If you can't respect that, then yeah, we need to reevaluate our friendship, okay? But you're not going to tell me that based on this scenario, this, like, as if I haven't been there for you ever, right? And unfortunately, that friendship did go by the wayside, unfortunately, but it's okay, right? Lessons learned, and the impact of that person, how I had in their life, as well as they had in my life, and as vice versa, right? It did mean something. Like I said, they do mean something, right? And I was able to lead differently, right? And monitor how I interact and engage with individuals, so that I don't put myself or we get into a position like that where they're expecting those things from me, okay? All right, last frustration or challenge, we got confusion between structure and rigidity. There's a misconception that structure means rigid schedules and perfectionism. This makes it hard to implement flexible, values-based routines, so people revert to the very systems that burned them out before. Yes, how many times have you heard somebody or you yourself have burnt out of a job or a career only to shift gears or whatever and then burn yourself out of that, right? It's not the job, right? And I'm not gonna say it's not you, it's just you've taken the same practices from one place to the next, right? You haven't really given yourself grace. You haven't really looked at yourself with self-respect, and you haven't changed your strategy. Remember, self-respect and strategy, so that you would not burn out again, right? You have all the data because you know what happened because you burnt out. So you have what happened and you know what it feels like. And yet you put yourself in the same position with the same expectations and rigid schedules that you did before. And you tried to start all new, a new slate, and you didn't do anything different. Think about that when you're going forward and you're changing, right? Think about it before when you're realizing, oh, I'm burning out. How can I just change things? How can I give myself grace? How can I relieve myself from perfectionism? I am a purist, a perfectionist myself, so I know this. And yeah, there are moments where I have to say, like, I mean, I will take a day off, or I will take an afternoon off. Like if I get in that morning and I feel like I've done some stuff and I'm like, I'm not, no, like the rest of the day is not going to be good, I'll take off. I mean, it's just, I need it for me, right? And I know that if I continue to push myself, I don't want to burn out. I don't mind losing a day or a half day versus losing a week. You know what I mean? So think about that, right? And see, and again, slow and steady, okay? That's what you want to do. All right, so now that we've named it, easing back into structure isn't always as smooth as it sounds. Between old habits trying to sneak back in, expectations piling up, and the guilt of not doing enough, it's no wonder we slip right back into survival mode. Well, here's the good news. It doesn't have to be all or nothing. You can build momentum without burnout. You can hold on to what rest taught you and still show up powerfully. And yes, you can lead with intention instead of pressure. So let's break it down. Here are 3 practical strategies to help you protect your peace, reclaim your rhythm, and create structure that actually supports your growth. You ready? All right. Number 1, redesign your mornings with intention. We talk about this a lot, right? Include one energizing activity like music, movement, or journaling, and one non-negotiable boundary. No email before 9 a.m., for example. All right. So I like this because there are certain people who love their mornings and they have a routine where they like go get coffee. They sit and just breathe. Some people go outside, look at the grass, water their plants, whatever. The music piece is one thing. I like movement. I'm definitely like working out and building my target is to build a really good physique right now, okay? And that's my thing, is I'll wake up and do maybe a 10-minute routine real quick, right? Just to get my mind ready, to get my body in the mode, right? And I can switch that up. It doesn't have to be just that every day. Maybe I won't feel like moving today. I have something on my mind. I want to write it down. Journal then. All right. Do you? Number 2, audit your meetings and time commitments. Ask, is this aligned with what matters, or is it just familiar? Eliminate the fluff. Yes, here we go. We're talking about these values again, folks. Make sure you get back, and like I said, it's an audit, right? It's a check-in. I need to remind myself. I am not perfect, and I'm sitting here telling you this. I have to remind myself this too. I think it's really important to get comfortable with reminding yourself and get comfortable with checking yourself. Do that. Number 3, blend grace with goals. Use gentle accountability. Track progress weekly, not daily. Did not tell y'all that? I love this. Allow space for adjustment without self-shaming. Important. Do not shame yourself for feeling like you are overwhelmed, because maybe at one point in your life you were capable of doing this. Like I said, just because you can doesn't mean you should. All right? Do not do that. If you're tired, own that and rest. Listen to your body. Listen to your mind. We're speaking to you. They're speaking to you. They know you. You have to recognize that. And that's part of you taking accountability. All right. You're going to be productive on some days. Maybe it's the beginning of the week, middle of the week, end of week. You're going to do everything that you need to do. Like I said, everything that needs to happen will happen as it should. All right. I enjoyed this one today. Yes. Incredibly motivating and inspiring. And I loved the reflection pieces that I have in there, not only for myself, but hopefully they related to some of you. And if they didn't, hey, throw in some examples for others. Share, baby. Share is caring. All right. Now, before I leave, I want to leave with one last message, again, to take you on throughout the rest of the week and share with some other folks. Be that blessing. All right. Here's the truth. A full calendar isn't a full life. The routines that serve you are the ones that honor your well-being, fuel your focus, and mirror your values. Let's stop mistaking pressure for productivity. Let's lead from rest, not recovery mode. Because a routine built on self-respect is more powerful than one built on pressure. Take a breath, take your time, and take your power back. I love it because that is so true and it is key. As a reminder, if you want more of me that delve into deeper topics, check out my podcast, Moving With Me in the Podcast. I'm on Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube Music. Check out my website, movingwithmeaning.com. Also, if you are interested in my path to emotional resilience, I wrote my business memoir that takes you on my 8-year journey in a tough competitive environment. You can find it on Amazon by the title Embrace the Code, Cultivating Emotional Resilience in a Tough IT Culture. Here is my graphic with all of my social media connections. Hit your girl up or just follow along. Maybe something will pop out at you. Also, if you are particularly inspired by any of my conversations or episodes and think this would be a good match for your next event, I'm your gal. Book me to speak. Or you're interested in converting this into a workshop, I got you covered. I will get you there. Perhaps this is right in line with your own experience and want to partner with me to add a bit more oxygen to that spark. I'm a coach. Maybe finding the right words for your own memoir or ebook has you all balled up in knots. Hey, I'm the ghostwriter that can put your thoughts and ideas to paper. If any of those strike your interest and you just want to talk opportunities, take the first step and book me completely free using this QR code. Yes, that is it for the day. I gotta run, but as always, I love this and I enjoy you. See you next week.